Now, something that the Mandalorian characters know nothing about is Order 66, or at least we've never heard them talk about it. We can safely assume that because they barely know anything about the Jedi. The last person to come in, Luke Skywalker, and take Grogu, he barely knows about Order 66, and that was taught to him by Verla, as we see in the Star Wars comic series. So it got me to thinking, really, with all the shows and material that has come out during the years, the list about every character that knew about Order 66 needs to be updated. There are some characters that were shown to know about Order 66 beforehand, and that was canonized too. So let's talk about it today. Every character that knew about Order 66, an updated list. For now, until Disney comes up with new characters, then we're gonna make an even more updated list. But until then, let's start with this list. We know that Order 66 was a pivotal moment in Star Wars. It actually changed everything. It explained how we came to the original trilogy timeline, everything that plagued Luke and the Rebellion, how the Empire grew to be so powerful under the rule of Emperor Palpatine and his sidekick, Darth Vader, the ultimate enforcer. Throughout the years, we learn different characters that became aware either on purpose or accidentally about Order 66, and to make this list more enticing, I'm going to include both legends and canon lore so that we have the full scope of Order 66 and everyone behind it. Of course, we have to start with Palpatine himself. He was the mastermind of the Great Jedi Purge and ultimately the formation of the Galactic Empire. George Lucas made it so that Order 66 is one of the many moments in the Star Wars prequels that defined Palpatine as a master pragmatist and a ultimate visionary. Think about it. Palpatine was able to implement a master strategy to spread the Jedi across the galaxy in a phony fake war against a corporate oligarchy that was ultimately his own puppet. He made it so that the clones and the Jedi were like brothers. They loved each other and they helped and saved each other throughout the process. This way the Jedi would never suspect what was coming. This is why the clones were the perfect assassins to kill the Jedi. Even when things were not going his way, like for example the debacle with Fives and how Fives found out, he was personally responsible. He went to him personally to confirm that Fives would be shut down and never reveal his secret. Even though the evil villain prevailed, you have to admire his tenacity. The second on the list is Count Dooku. Palpatine was the mastermind, but somebody had to do the legwork, and this was Count Dooku. It was in large part set up by Dooku himself, who diligently carried out the process of selecting a worthy clone template and worked with the Kaminoans in order to implement a control chip in every clone embryo that would ultimately lead to them killing their Jedi leaders. While Palpatine was the man behind the curtains, Dooku was in front of the stage. Dooku had to be the diplomat, and his royal family background made it so that it was easy for Count Dooku to recruit all these systems that would ultimately help them. Throughout Attack of the Clones, we see the intelligence of Count Dooku spry. We can see him woo the separatist leaders on Geonosis, telling him about the separatist plans and their ultimate plan. This is when the Death Star makes a premature cameo in Attack of the Clones. This is some of the separatist leaders that were in awe of Count Dooku, so much so that they followed him without thinking it twice. Dooku had control of the Trade Federation, the Intergalactic Banking Clan, which the Clone Wars series shows us they are very important, the Magistrate of Corporate Alliances, the Quarren Isolation League, and of course the Techno Union, just to name a few. There are more, but you get the idea. And so, yes, was Palpatine the mastermind? Sure, but the day-to-day operations guy was Count Dooku. Next on the list is lamasu, the Prime Minister of Kamino and the Kaminoan in charge of the clones' creation. In a way, it was a necessity that lamasu was aware of the control chips and therefore their ultimate purpose of the control chips, of the inhibitor chips in fact, and that was Order 66. While the full awareness of the nature of Order Order 66, the sinister plot behind it may not have been fully revealed to lamasu, but lamasu knew that the chips were a contingency measure against clone aggression that may stem from their host, Jango Fett. The chip and the Order compelled the clones to follow what was said to be on alert for a potential rogue Jedi, and therefore needed to be kept secret from the Jedi Order. Because of this, lamasu was also in part involved with the conspiracy to eliminate Top and Fives. Connecting to lamasu is the next person on the list, and that is Nala Se. Similar to lamasu, Nala Se needed to know about the control chips and Order 66, since Nala was one of the head scientists responsible for the creation of the clone troopers. We are made aware that she knows about Order 66 since the inhibitor chips were implanted by the scientist, but the more revealing part about Nala Se is the cold and callous nature that she had about the clones' humanity. Nala Se felt no remorse in the planned termination of Top, which she nearly carried out herself. She saw the clone troopers not as living beings, but as products created simply for the Republic and Palpatine's war. Nala Se also was instrumental in the assassination of Fives, drugging him on the voyage to Coruscant so that he'd appear insane and unstable upon learning the true nature of Order 66 and Chancellor Palpatine. This shouldn't be a surprise to no one. Similar to Dooku, the next person on the list is Masamita. We had a hint of Masamita's involvement in Attack of the Clones when both Palpatine and Masamita persuade Jar Jar Binks to give an emergency vote. But in Revenge of the Sith, it was fully revealed that Masamita was well aware not only of Order 66 and the destruction of the Jedi, but of Palpatine's true nature as a Sith Lord. Masamita is seen beside Sidious while he is talking to Darth Vader about eliminating the Separatist Council. In the 2020 Darth Vader series, that has been expanded even more so, with Palpatine giving Masamita further responsibilities in branding Darth Vader as a traitor and the courage of Masamita to attack Darth Vader with royal guards. This leads us to the next person who was beside Palpatine, and that is Slymore, a character that has a very rich background in Legends lore and possibly was just reinvigorated in canon as well with the latest release of the Darth Vader comic issue number 8. Slymore was a Force-sensitive Umbaran, at least in Legends, and just like Masamita, she was a member of Palpatine's innermost circle, who was aware that Palpatine was actually a Sith Lord named Darth Sidious. Therefore, you can put her on the list. She knew about Order 66 beforehand, and in fact, in the expanded universe, Slymore was much more than just a simple servant or confidant of Palpatine's. It was hinted that she was trained in the dark side by Palpatine in Legends, and to make matters even more grandiose, she was involved in a romantic relationship with him, hinting that she birthed Palpatine a son. If they were so intimately involved, you can assume that Palpatine and Moore had no secrets between them, aka pillow talk. Before we come to the last person that was just updated to know about Order 66 through the Clone Wars series, let's give an honorable mention to some clones, and that is 5 Kix. And as we saw in the Clone Wars 7 season, Rex knew as well, although he suspected that Fives was wrong all the time. It was shown that just as Order 66 was executed, Rex was shown to visibly shake and tell Ahsoka to find Fives, as now he was fully aware Order 66 was a reality. Half a year ago, the Clone Wars 7 season ended, and it showed another character that was fully aware of Order 66, and that was Darth Maul. You see, in the beginning, Palpatine's plans were for Maul to be the ultimate apprentice. Maul was essentially not only a Sith apprentice, but his adopted son in a way. He raised Maul from infancy. While Maul may not have been aware of the specifics of Order 66, his dialogue in the 7th Clone Wars season shows us that he was prepping and was fully aware Sidious had a grand master plan to eliminate the Jedi very, very soon. This is what we have with the most recent updated list, and as you can see, this list was updated not more than 6 months ago. So who knows where we're going to be in the near future. We might have to update this list again. Guys, tell me if I missed anyone, or who do you think was the best character in this list? Talk to me down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up down below, subscribe for dailies. Now you can have an awesome day, Star Wars fans. I'll see you in the next video, and may the Force be with you until then.